Since you spoke about the staff and the team, actually part of the core negotiation team sits right here at the table to my right. I mean, we have Paul, who sits on the Government Advisory Committee of ICANN, who led this effort, right? And Ricardo, who led the legal negotiation team, and
Armando.
Yes, and Armando, who runs the global IT for UPU.
Armando is director of Postal Technology Center.
Fantastic.
Providing services, meaning that we can work on the strategy, on the regulation, and also on the development and implementation of new services.
Yes.
And here you have the key people around us.
Yes, and Andrea Rigoni, who was the catalyst in bringing me and Massimo together, as well as Matthias Langenegger from ICANN. But what I want to actually, if I could ask a quick question to Paul and Ricardo, is, you know, this thing was stuck because it's sometimes hard, right, to create this new contract between UPU as one of the most powerful international government organizations, or IGOs, and ICANN, hopefully very significant NGO, or non-governmental organization, but with government involvement. How did you two kind of find a way to the middle? You know, how did you do that? It seems like quite a challenge.
Well, I guess the contract negotiations were challenging because of the different nature of both organisations, but the importance that each organisation has in its own industry. So we had to find a way of dealing with the governmental legal issues as well as the commercial legal aspects of the contract. And there was a lot of creativity shown on both sides to try and resolve some of these issues, and there was a need of understanding as well of the unique characteristics. So there was an education process and there was a lot of creativity, and I think recently a lot of passion became a part of it as well. I know your personal involvement in trying to create some innovations in thinking in this area, and the passionate support from some of our member countries also gave renewed energy, I guess, to both teams accepting the necessary compromises which would still respect the aspects of each organisation, but give us a contract which is actually going to be a long-term sustaining contract. We are signing an agreement between two industries for a long period of time. This is a 10-year contract, but we hope to be a perpetual contract in the future. So it was important that we laid the right ground rules at this stage for a long-term partnership between these two industries. And I think there's a lot that will come from this agreement other than just domain sales. I think there's a lot of benefits to the users of postal services around the world and the users of internet services around the world in the future. So.
Absolutely, and I know that you and Craig Schwartz on our side work very hard on the business commercial terms, and Ricardo and John Jeffries work very hard. Ricardo, maybe you can talk about some of the tricky legal challenges or some of the solutions and approaches you came up with.
Yeah, I think that just to add to what Paul said already, this was a big learning process for both organizations. As Mr. Dayan also mentioned, we were the first UN agency to reach advanced stage of negotiations with ICANN. So during this process, we had to also tell ICANN that we were not simply another applicant for a sponsored top-level domain. We had to tell them we have a different status, and this status is what defines the differences in the contractual documents. So we were talking about, for example, consensus policies, tax provisions, identification, and intellectual property rights, and so on. And I'm glad that with the teamwork that we endeavored, we were able to reach either a good protection of the principles of the UPU, because these were never renounced, but also reaching a compromise where this compromise was possible. So I think that both parties they came out of the process in a satisfied manner, and I'm glad to be helpful to this effort, and I hope we just continue with the project onwards.
Fantastic. Thank you again so much.
With just one word, you can observe that around the table we are from different countries, nationalities.
Yes.
Which could explain also the result.
Yes.
Because Paul is from Australia, Ricardo is from Brazil, this from Germany, you are from US, we are from Italy, I am from France.
And Matthias from Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yes.
Which means that the cultural diversity is a richness in our world.
Outstanding. And with that, we're working together for one world, one internet, with everyone connected. So cheers. Thank you so much.